we're in the season of midsummer, and technically, the day I'm filming this, well, today is Midsummer Day, June the 24th. Let's see if I can get it uploaded on June the 24th. But this wasn't just one day, this was a build up because it is nearly the end of June, and I almost missed one of the most important seasons that we used to have in this country. I mean, it wasn't just a holiday, it was an entire season dedicated to midsummer. And this right here is exactly why I started this series as part of my channel, to dig up the forgotten traditions that used to make Britain. Not because I'm a history channel, but because I want to remind us all about what we used to celebrate as a country, what unites us, what actually shaped the country that we've become. Because I don't think it's fair to talk about the country that we're becoming now without at least understanding where we came from. And yes, it has been a hot minute, quite literally, since I've done one of these videos. If you've been part of this series, I'm sorry, there's just been so much going on with the politics and work, so please forgive me. But Britain used to know how to mark time, to celebrate things, to come together and go, this matters. And the late June season, the solstice, midsummer, Litha, this whole glowing season where the sun just kind of stretches out, though this was one of those moments. This was Britain's season of high summer. Now, teeny tiny clarification, because this is where I think it gets really interesting. So we already had the summer solstice, which in 2026 fell on June the 21st, and that's the longest day of the year. That's the actual astronomical moment where the sun is at its peak. That's where the universe is just doing its thing. And then, a few days later, in Britain, you have Midsummer Day, June the 24th, which is when we chose to celebrate it. And I just need to say that this is so British. The sun hits its absolute peak on a Sunday, and we go, lovely, let's celebrate that on a Wednesday. But Midsummer's Day wasn't just symbolic for Britain, it was one of our quarter days, one of the 4 days of the entire legal and economic calendar of Britain that was built around. Rent was due, contracts were signed, jobs started. The whole country aligned itself to these 4 dates. We didn't just notice Midsummer as some charming holiday, we organised the entire country around it. So let me just rewind for a second, because yeah, I know it has been a while since I've done one of these, and I may have missed some of the summer solstice season, but this whole season doesn't just appear out of nowhere. So let's rewind. So you start with Oak Apple Day on May the 29th, which kind of spills into June. This was celebrating the restoration of Charles II in 1660 after civil war, chaos, and the country basically going through a full identity crisis. So people wore oak leaves because he survived by hiding in an oak tree. And if you didn't wear one, you got hit with nettles. I mean, imagine needing that level of peer pressure to show national loyalty. Like, forget social media shame. We were out here doing botanical punishment.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you!
And then we have a series of holidays which were sort of designed to unite us all. Because by the 11th of June, Barnabas Day, the light is doing its absolute most. Like, it's 9 p.m. and you're still like, there, why is this daylight? What is happening? And people noticed that. They literally built sayings around it. Barnabas bright, longest days, shortest nights. And I love this because it's so sort of unserious, but also deeply serious. The tradition is basically, guys, look at the sun. That's it. That was enough. Because before the calendar shift in 1752, June the 11th was the date of the summer solstice. And then we hit the peak, June the 23rd, St. John's Eve, bonfires everywhere. They were known as St. John's fires. They were lit on hilltops and beaches because fire mirrors the sun at its strongest, and it also protects. You would swim and bathe in rivers, seas, and ponds, whole communities celebrating, dancing, jumping over the fires. I mean, this has been happening long before Christianity hit this country. And then midsummer morning, and we get my absolute favourite tradition, dew. Girls going out at dawn and washing their face in it, because apparently this specific moisture has benefits for beauty, for luck, for protection, for family, for fertility. And I have to say this absolutely clearly. We used to put dew on our faces, and now we're out here layering acids and serums, exfoliants, and I'm not convinced that we're the advanced civilization. I kind of think we've been scammed.
2002 was a simpler time.
And people are gathering herbs at St. John's wort, yarrow, thyme, because nature itself was at its full strength. And obviously, because we are British, a major part of Midsummer was love rituals. Now, we started this season with Beltane on May the 1st, and let's just say the desire to recreate George Michael's Outside doesn't exactly vanish then. In fact, it pretty much continues all the way throughout this season. And then we glide on into the end of the month, June the 29th, St. Peter's Day. Coastal towns, boats lined up, people watching them be blessed, covered in flowers and moss and anything that we could get our hands on, because Britain is an island. And we actually used to celebrate that fact. The sea was an aesthetic, it fed you, so you respected it. And we would rush bear, which is people gathering greenery together, decorating spaces. And we'd also have shearing feasts, people finishing work and then actually sitting down and celebrating it all together. It wasn't just some sort of fancy shared plate. It was communities forming. Because June wasn't just about surviving the heat, although God knows we could use it. It was about recognizing that we've made it, that the light is here, that the land is working, that life is, for this moment, good. And instead of moving on and sort of waiting for it to be over, we used to just stop. So I'll kind of ask you properly, when did we last actually do that? Now we have become a country that we can organise outrage instantly, but we can organise a bonfire if its life depended on it. We live next to each other, but we don't gather. And we are more global than ever, yet we're more isolated than ever before. We experience things alone, through screens, through detachment, from the actual season that we're in. And this is such a big cultural loss to Britain. Because this season, this forgotten season of high summer, is actually what built us. Not just industry, not just politics, but these holidays and traditions, this land, this people, this light, all of us together. And we didn't lose it because it disappeared. We lost it because we stopped showing up for it. Which honestly is one of the reasons why I nearly missed it. But obviously there are other things going on. But the same thing. It's the same system. It's just the same feeling of disconnect. But the light is still here. And the evenings are still stretching on. And the season hasn't gone anywhere. So I may have nearly missed it. And you may nearly have missed it too. But we haven't forgotten it now. So this is your reminder. Go outside. Stay a bit longer. Notice the season. And maybe light a candle or two over the next few days. Because if this series is about anything, it's this. Remembering who the damn hell we are. Now, as always, do think about giving me a like and subscribe. And I'll see you very soon for the next one. I promise you I won't miss it.